Continuing with our coverage of the Iran war, we welcome David Wurmser, analyst for Middle East Affairs at the Center for Security Policy.
Thank you.
Good to have you with us, David. Good morning. The Pentagon yesterday said the number of Iran's attacks has plunged as the U.S. prepares deeper strikes, and U.S. forces have also hit or sunk more than 20 ships. What does that say about Iran's missile stockpile, and how long do you see this war lasting at this point?
The missile stockpile, I think they now are kind of trapped. They have their missiles, those 2,000 or 2,500 missiles originally that they had them stored in mountains, which is safe to store from American attacks. But the problem is you have to get them out of the mountains and shoot them in order to hit the target. A missile without a missile launcher is essentially like a bullet without a gun. It doesn't really do anything. So the Israelis, the Americans have been focusing on the launchers. The launchers have been decimated in the old Roman term, which means 9 out of 10 are gone. So you're seeing a fairly dramatic drop in the ability to send missiles. That doesn't mean the Iranians don't have missiles still in those tunnels, but they are losing their ability to shoot them. And you're seeing that effect. Or a lot less attacks today. And those that are with fewer missiles. That said, you're seeing the geographic area of what Iran is striking expanding. The airport in Azerbaijan has been hit, which is yet the 12th country that Iran has struck out at.
Now, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says America is winning and that the U.S. and Israel will soon gain control of Iranian airspace. In your assessment, does the current Iranian regime stand a chance of surviving this kind of force?
There's always a chance, but I think it's a fairly grim and slim chance. The air, as you said, the air is turning now over to full control to the Americans and Israelis, which means that they can now also loiter and in real time attack concentrations of IRGC forces that go after demonstrators. We're not quite at that stage yet where the United States and Israel are calling on the demonstrators to take back to the streets. We're still in the phase where they're told to stay home while we get the work done. But we're getting there. And when that phase happens, it's quite possible the Iranian regime simply won't have the power anymore to protect its core assets and to survive. The second thing is we're seeing stuff in the north near Azerbaijan and in the northeast, west near the Kurdish areas of Iraq that suggests that there is now a structure of corridors opening up for dissidents and weapons to start flowing in.
So what kind of future does Operation Epic Fury leave for the people of Iran and the nation?
Well, I think the legacy of it, well, not the legacy, but the next phases of it will be a takedown, a final sort of erasing of all the capabilities that Iran has to reach out and hurt nations far away through missiles and through terrorism and so forth. As far as what goes on inside Iran, the idea here seems to be to eliminate the power of the government to defend itself, to suppress the population like they did a month ago when they, in order to survive, just killed 30,000, 40,000 people in 1 or 2 nights. So the United States and Israel are taking down those structures. So I think what you're going to see is a few more days of cleaning out of these weapon systems that are right now causing international problems, whether it's in the Gulf or Israel with the missiles. And then you're going to start seeing the stuff turn to destabilization of the regime. And that will take a few weeks. And then the Iranian people, I think, will have a shot at taking over their government with limited or sporadic ability by the government to defend itself. And then it's an Iranian question then.
Yeah, and just looking at the regime as it is now, what kind of support does it have in Iran, and what percentage of Iranians do you think actually support the regime right now?
Well, I think that, first of all, when we look back a month, they really relied on foreign forces, Afghanis, Iraqi militias, and so forth, to suppress the population of Iran. They couldn't count on all the Iranian, even their own IRGC. They couldn't count on it, and the Iraqi militias have been hit, and they've been hit hard, both by the United States and Israel in the last few days, and also they may start putting their finger in the wind and running away because ultimately they're not Iranians at all. So one, that structure may be gone, but as far as Iranians go, there's Iranians that don't necessarily love or support the government but are dependent on it. A lot of the economy depends on this IRGC control of it and so forth. It's an intertwined system. But I would really put it at very narrow, and most people are beginning to tilt over, even in that narrow group of people are beginning to tilt over and think they have a better shot in the long term at trying to make their peace with what may come rather than stick with what is. So I think you're talking a very small group of people are really now still going to try to hold on.
Rapid developments in the air, in the sea, and right there on the ground in people's hearts and minds. Thank you so much, David Wurmser.
Thank you.